Your thoughts have the power to change you. So change you in 2026. Good morning, everyone. Let me start with a simple question. Why do some people rise again and again, even after failing many times, while others give up after just one setback? It is not luck. It is not background. It is not education. It is thoughts. Your thoughts are invisible, but their results are very real. Before you become successful, before you become confident, before you become strong, you first become it in your mind. Many people want to change their life, but they don't want to change their thinking. That is like trying to reach a new destination using an old map. Friends, 2026 is not a magical year. It will not suddenly make you disciplined, brave, or focused. 2026 will only amplify who you already are. If you carry doubt into 2026, it will grow. If you carry fear into 2026, it will multiply. But if you carry belief, courage, and patience, then 2026 can change everything. I want you to understand one truth. You don't become what you want. You become what you think repeatedly. If you keep telling yourself, I'm not good enough, I'm too late, I can't do this, then your mind will work very hard to prove you right. But if you change the message, I'm learning, I'm improving, I will figure this out, then slowly, quietly, powerfully, you change. Look, failure is not your enemy. Negative thoughts are. Failure teaches you. Negative thoughts trap you. Some of the greatest people in the world were laughed at, rejected, ignored. They didn't win because they were smarter. They won because they refused to think small. In 2026, don't ask, what if I grow? Don't ask, what will people say? Ask, what kind of person do I want to become? Because once you change your thoughts, your habits will change. Your habits will change your actions. Your actions will change your results. And one day, your results will shock even you. Remember this, the world does not decide your value. Your past does not decide your future. Your thoughts decide your direction. So as you step into 2026, be brave enough to change your inner voice. Be patient enough to grow slowly. Be strong enough to continue when it's hard. Change your thoughts, and you will change you. Your thoughts decide your direction long before your actions ever appear. Every decision you make, every habit you build, and every result you experience begins as a thought. Before you wake up early, your mind already agreed that it matters. Before you quit, your mind already convinced you that it is useless. Action is only the final expression of a belief that has been living quietly inside you for a long time. This is why two people can face the same situation, have the same resources, and still walk in completely different directions. The difference is not talent or opportunity, but the story they tell themselves every day. If you don't change the way you think, no strategy or skill can save you. You can attend workshops, read books, learn techniques, and collect certificates. But if your thinking stays small, fear-driven, or negative, all those tools will remain unused. A mind filled with doubt will always find reasons to delay. A mind trained to expect failure will sabotage even the best plans. Skill without belief creates hesitation. Strategy without confidence creates inconsistency. Knowledge without the right mindset creates frustration. Many people blame circumstances when things don't work, but the real limitation is often internal. They say the system is broken, the timing is wrong, or the competition is too strong. What they rarely admit is that their thinking has already accepted defeat. The moment your thoughts say, this is impossible, your energy drops, your creativity shuts down, and your effort becomes half-hearted. Even when an opportunity appears, you are too mentally tired to recognize it. Changing your thinking does not mean pretending everything is easy or ignoring reality. It means choosing thoughts that move you forward instead of holding you back. It means replacing, I can't, with I'll learn, replacing, I'm not ready, with I'll start and improve, and replacing fear with curiosity. When your thoughts change, your focus changes. When your focus changes, your actions become intentional instead of reactive. Strong thinking creates strong direction. It gives you patience when results are slow and discipline when motivation fades. It helps you stay calm in uncertainty and persistent in discomfort. Over time, these small mental shifts compound into massive personal change. The world responds not to what you wish for, but to what you consistently think, believe, and act upon. Growth starts when you stop blaming and start believing. Blame feels comfortable because it protects the ego. It gives you an excuse to stay the same while pretending the problem is somewhere else. When you blame your past, your parents, your boss, the economy, or luck, you give away your power. Belief does the opposite. Belief pulls the responsibility back to you. It is not loud or dramatic, but it is honest. It says, I may not control everything, but I control my response. The moment you accept this, your mindset shifts from helpless to active. You stop waiting for permission, validation, or perfect conditions. Belief is not blind optimism. It is a quiet decision to trust your ability to learn, adapt, and persist. Many people think belief means confidence, but real belief often shows up when confidence is missing. It appears when things are unclear and progress is slow. It pushes you to show up anyway. When you believe in your growth, failure becomes feedback instead of a verdict. You no longer ask, why has this happened to me? You ask, what is this teaching me? That question alone changes how you move forward. Blame keeps you in the past. Belief pulls you into the future. Blame drains energy. Belief creates momentum. Once you stop blaming, you stop wasting emotional energy on things you cannot change. That energy turns into focus, and focus turns into action. You start building instead of complaining, improving instead of explaining, learning instead of defending. This is where growth actually begins, not when everything is fixed, but when your mindset refuses to stay broken. Discomfort is not a sign of failure. It is proof of transformation. Every meaningful change comes with resistance. When you try to grow, your mind will look for comfort, familiarity, and safety. Discomfort appears because you are stepping into unfamiliar territory. If growth felt easy, everyone would be living at their highest potential. The reason it feels heavy is because you are shedding an old version of yourself that no longer fits. Most people misread discomfort. They think struggle means they are doing something wrong, so they stop. In reality, struggle often means you are doing something new. Learning a skill feels awkward before it feels natural. Building discipline feels exhausting before it feels empowering. Becoming confident feels uncomfortable before it feels normal. The pain is not punishment, it is adjustment. Discomfort forces you to confront your limits, your fears, and your excuses. It stretches your patience and tests your commitment. When you sit with it instead of running away, you develop resilience. That resilience becomes your strength. Over time, what once felt difficult becomes your new baseline. The discomfort fades, but the growth remains. Avoiding discomfort keeps you trapped in familiar patterns. Embracing it allows you to evolve. Every time you choose the harder path, your mind expands. Every time you push through resistance, your capacity increases. The version of you on the other side of discomfort thinks differently, acts differently, and carries a quiet confidence that cannot be taught or borrowed. Discomfort is not a sign of failure, it is proof of transformation. The moment you decide to grow, life stops feeling smooth. Things become uncertain, routines feel unstable, and confidence starts to shake. This is not because you are going in the wrong direction, but because you are leaving what is familiar. Comfort is predictable, even when it is limiting. Discomfort appears when your old mindset can no longer support the new version of you that is trying to emerge. Most people are trained to avoid discomfort. They are taught that struggle means something is wrong, so they pull back the moment things feel hard. But growth has never been comfortable. When you challenge your habits, your ego resists. When you raise your standards, your mind looks for excuses. When you aim higher, fear speaks louder. This internal resistance is not an obstacle. It is a signal that change is happening beneath the surface. Discomfort forces awareness. It exposes weaknesses you ignored and patterns you outgrew. It shows you where discipline is missing and where belief is fragile. Without discomfort, you would never know what needs to change. Easy paths rarely build strength. They keep you operating at a level you already know. Hard moments stretch your thinking, sharpen your focus, and demand effort you didn't know you had. Every skill feels uncomfortable before it feels natural. Every confident person once felt unsure. Every disciplined individual once struggled with consistency. The discomfort you feel today is part of the learning curve, not a verdict on your ability. When you stay with it instead of escaping, something shifts. Your tolerance increases. Your reactions slow down. You stop panicking and start adjusting. Discomfort also teaches patience. Results don't show up immediately, and that delay tests your commitment. It asks whether you are serious about growth or just excited by the idea of it. Those who understand discomfort don't rush the process. They focus on showing up, improving slightly, and trusting the work they are putting in. Avoiding discomfort keeps you repeating the same cycles. Accepting it allows you to evolve. Each time you choose to stay when it feels uncomfortable, you build inner strength. That strength becomes quiet confidence, not loud or showy, but stable and reliable. Over time, what once felt heavy becomes manageable, and what once scared you becomes familiar, shaping a mindset that is stronger, calmer, and more capable under pressure. 2026 is not waiting for you, it is responding to you. Time does not reward intention. It responds to energy, consistency, and mindset. A new year does not arrive with answers, motivation, or direction. It arrives empty, and it reflects back whatever you bring into it. If you carry hesitation, confusion, and self-doubt, the year will feel heavy and unproductive. If you carry clarity, discipline, and belief, the year will begin to open doors in unexpected ways. Many people treat a new year like a reset button, believing that the calendar will magically change their habits. But time only magnifies patterns. What you repeat mentally and emotionally today will shape how tomorrow unfolds. If you enter 2026 with the same thinking, the same excuses, and the same fears, the results will look familiar. Change does not happen because the year changes. It happens because you change the way you respond to challenges and opportunities. The year responds to action backed by intention. Small, consistent efforts send a signal. They tell time that you are serious. When you show up daily, even imperfectly, momentum starts to build. One focused decision leads to another. One disciplined habit creates space for growth. Slowly, circumstances begin to align, not because of luck, but because your mindset trained you to notice and act. 2026 will test you. There will be uncertainty, delays, and moments of doubt. But how you think during those moments will decide the outcome. When you choose patience over panic and learning over quitting, you shift the direction of the year. You stop reacting emotionally and start responding strategically. That shift changes everything. A year is not an opportunity you wait for. It is a mirror. It reflects your thoughts, your habits, and your level of commitment. The energy you invest mentally today becomes the reality you experience tomorrow. When you walk into 2026 with intention, resilience, and belief, the year does not lead you. It follows your direction.